Xbox layoffs reportedly begin at Compulsion Games, studio behind South of Midnight. Reports suggest that a new wave of layoffs at Xbox has begun, with Compulsion Games, the studio currently developing South of Midnight, appearing to be among the first affected. Multiple developers from the Montreal-based studio have indicated on LinkedIn that they are no longer with the company, according to reporting compiled by journalist Mr. Rebs. The post points to significant staffing changes taking place within the studio, though the full scope of the layoffs has not been officially confirmed by Xbox or Compulsion. The situation comes amid broader restructuring efforts across Xbox, which are reportedly being overseen under new CEO Asher Sharma. According to earlier reporting, the changes could involve major shifts across Xbox game studios, including potential closures or the possibility of some studios being spun out as independent entities. The future of Compulsion Games remains uncertain. Earlier in June, reports suggested Xbox had considered shutting down the studio, although leadership at Compulsion was also said to be in discussion about a potential separation or spin off arrangement instead. Compulsion Games, founded in 2009 and based in Montreal, became part of Microsoft's growing portfolio of studios in 2018 following the company's acquisition wave. The developer is best known for titles such as Contrast and We Happy Few, and is currently working on the upcoming action-adventure game South of Midnight. I wonder if that's still in development or if that's been canceled. The reported layoffs may be the first step in a wider restructuring effort across Xbox's internal studios. Previous reports have suggested that additional changes could follow after June 30th, coinciding with the end of Microsoft's fiscal year. Other studios under the Xbox umbrella, including Double Fine and Ninja Theory, have also been rumored to be in discussions regarding their long-term status within Microsoft's structure, with speculation that some teams could be spun out or face further restructuring. However, no official updates has been provided regarding those negotiations. At this stage, neither Xbox nor Compulsion Games has issued a detailed public statement on the reported layoffs, leaving the studio's future direction unclear as the broader Xbox restructuring continues to unfold. So, so what? That sucks. It sucks if South of Midnight probably might not. It could be canceled, especially if it sounds like they're getting rid of many of the people from Compulsion Games. It really depends how many people were working at that studio and how many people are being let go. If this is true, Compulsion Games and Microsoft have both stayed silent on this, so we're just gonna operate under the assumption that this is a true story. Um, South of Midnight, that's up in the air now, depending on whether this is true or not. If this is true, I don't think South of Midnight's gonna ever be released. It's probably gonna be canceled. Um, with the but I mean, also, one thing I was gonna say, you knew this was gonna happen, and I don't think this is gonna be the end of it. I think this is just the beginning of Asha Sharma having to do what she has to do to clean up Phil Spencer's mess. I mean, Phil Spencer, he thought the best way to remedy costs from the Activision Blizzard merger was to put one Call of Duty on Game Pass and then fire people to make up the money. He even Phil Spencer even said he knew when the merger was going to go through that he knew he was going to have to fire people. Um, a more sane person would have thought, how can we make money without firing people? What are we spending tens of billions of dollars on? How can we get a return on our investment? Again, I'm thinking rationally. Phil Spencer seems he hasn't had a rational thought in years. But back to Asher Sharma, it sucks that they have to shut this studio. If they have to shut this studio down, it sucks if they're gonna have to shut more studios down. But these effects in motion were set in motion years ago, 4 years, for letting Phil Spencer continue to run Microsoft into the ground. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he wasn't there to kill Microsoft. Um, so with and now, I mean, and anyone who was going to come in and right the ship, like Asha Sharma has been selected, she's going to have to do things to remedy Phil Spencer's mess with purchasing studios and thinking the way he'd make money back is by letting people go. So, I wouldn't blame Asha Sharma for this. Like I said, I believe these actions were set in motion months or even years ago. Um, and it's just someone was gonna have to do it eventually. I was starting to wonder if Microsoft was just gonna let Xbox run itself into the ground and then be like, okay, we're out of the gaming business. Um, Thankfully, that's not what happened. Because imagine a world where you just got PlayStation and Nintendo to choose from, unless you're a PC gamer. So yeah, like I said, I won't be if we hear that like more studios have been shut down, or that this one was in fact shut down, or had a big not even shut down, but had a big um exodus, then it's like not surprising. So, but I mean, I still don't think Asher Sharma is to blame, because Phil Spencer ran things awful in an off. He did an awful job running this for years. So obviously, it's gonna take years, as I said in the last podcast, to fix what he broke. Um, that's the way I look at it. Um, but what do you think? Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about Xbox as a what I really am interested in hearing is not only how do you feel about Xbox's future, but how do you feel about Asha Sharma? I know a lot of people are unfairly critical of her, um, but it's where were these people? These people that are like highly critical of Asha Sharma. Where were you when Phil Spencer was making bad decision after bad decision? I was calling him out. There's still clips on the my YouTube about the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast where I called him out when working with Dr. Games 101. I called out Phil Spencer, said he made this was a bad decision, this was a bad decision. So, it's kind of unfair that now everyone's saying, "Oh my God, Xbox is at the end. Xbox is gonna die." And it's like, where were you when Xbox was? Um, Yeah, but I want to know what you think, and what were you thinking when Phil Spencer was making bad decisions? I'm not going to rehash it here. I'm not going to go into that again. But, what were you thinking when Asha Sharma came in, hopefully to right the ship? Which it looks like she's doing some good, like lowering the price of Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know if that's gone into effect yet. But like I heard Ultimate went down from $29.99 a month to $22.99 a month. Um, but what do you think? What do you think of Phil Spencer when he was basically breaking things to kill Xbox? Let me know